other people to help you be successful.
Anything that is somewhat associated with African women and making them better, then like it needs to be a charity.
Hi, I'm Seyi Banigbe, and you're welcome to Binging with GameChangers, where we delve into the minds of people with celebrated careers and brands to help us shatter the kind of ceilings they've been able to shatter and basically just do big things. Before we delve into the show, how have you been? I have been okay, but a bit, I've been worked up because lately it's just been it's been a lot. I go into a lot of places and I meet people. I'm still trying to wind up, shut down my engine. What I'm trying to get down. Before I even know what's going on, I see like 3 uniformed men in front of me. Ma, our mommy, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma. Daddy, mommy, grandma, hailing me. For what? Why? How? Really? You get to the entrance again. You've not even gotten there. Nowadays it gets violent because when I'm trying to get into my car, I'm still trying to put my feet in, and they're slamming the door for me. Oh ma, happy weekend ma. Oh well done ma. Oh why? Honestly, when I meet such people, I do not give them a dime. The kind of people that get a dime out of me are people that do their work happily, cheerfully, smiling, and courteously. Not, indirectly, begging for money, but just, trying to provide excellent service for the job they're being paid to do. I think those are the kind of people we should, hand out tips to and, encourage. With that, maybe this habit of happy weekend, sir, maybe it will reduce. Hit us up on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at The BWG Show. I want to read from you. Let me know how you feel about these things. See you guys when we return. Welcome back to the show, guys. Today we have 2 amazing women with us. I won't call them game changers alone, but also world changers. They're changing the world one woman at a time. They're the founders of She Leads Africa, a media company that churns out amazing knowledge and content to impact and inspire women to be all that they can be. At the moment, they have a reach of over 350,000 women across 47 countries, and they are just changing the game. Welcome with me, Afua Osei and Yasmin Belo-Osagie. Welcome, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome. Really? Your welcome song is Fuse ODG's Ginger?
Yes.
Tell me about that. Why?
Yes, we have to bring our Ghanaian roots, because in Nigeria they always over-dominate West Africa. So we wanted to make sure that we came hard with our Ghana people.
I'm surprised because, I follow you guys on Instagram and everything is slay, slay, slay. I honestly thought your welcome song was going to be Beyonce's Formation. Yeah. You guys are always slaying everything.
It's true. Next time.
That was meant to be the song, right?
Yeah, you're right.
It's so good to have you guys here.
It's so lovely to be here. Very exciting what you were doing as well.
Thank you. You guys, I was reading up on you and I saw something you said and it just hit home for me. You said you're trying to break the stereotype of people thinking they need godfathers to get good jobs and, good employment in Africa and Nigeria. And that really hit home for me because I'm a product of actually getting a good job, right after school based on just merit. I walked into PricewaterhouseCoopers and, I was just told, not bad. Sit down, if you pass the test, then you're in. Well, test and various interviews. And that was it. And sometimes when I tell people, they're thinking, no, come on, how you knew someone, your mother knew, no, so. And really, there's loads of people employed. How is that coming along for you? Are people getting it?
Yeah. At She Leads Africa, what's so important for us is that women feel that they have access to resources, to opportunities, to the ability to learn and improve themselves without anyone else's permission. And we really want young women to know that they can live their best lives however they define it or they choose it. So we designed the platform to make sure that wherever you are, regardless of if you live in the city or you're in a community outside, if you're a student or you're a professional, that you can access it online or via training or program to learn more, and that you don't have to rely on other people to help you be successful, that you have the knowledge and the ability to do it yourself.
Amazing. Your website is amazing. In these climes, what you're doing and your company would easily be described as an NGO or a charity. But I noticed is you guys usually refer to it as a business. Tell us more about that. How is it a business?
It is a business. Well, first of all, I mean, it's a couple of different things. The first thing is that, like, I don't like this idea where anything that is somewhat associated with African women and making them better, then, like, it needs to be a charity. Because there's this assumption that, well, no one's gonna pay to, like, reach a community of young African women, right? Because they're just all poor. And it's like, well, that's just not the case, you know, like, we wanted to think about creative models, like business models that we could put in place. And I think that we've been able to prove that actually, yes, like, you're able to serve this community in a way that is beneficial to you as a business owner, but beneficial to kind of the end consumer as well. And I think that probably for me, like, the last thing is that I just don't like, my issues with NGOs and charities is that sometimes I find that when people work in NGOs and charities, and again, like, I'm sure that there are amazing people who do that, I think that they sometimes go in with an NGO and charity mindset. So to be clear, like, my friends who work in the NGO space, 5 p.m., they're back in their house. My friends who are in iBanking, who are in consulting, who are doing all the terrible things in the world that we need to protect again, they're in the office till like 2, 3, 4 in the morning. They're back there at 6 in the morning. So I think that there's also just a different mentality that people bring when they work in certain types of organizations. And I think because the vision that we had for SLA was so broad and it was so big, we really understood that it was going to take, you know, a team of very aggressive people to be able to rapidly grow this community. And I just didn't really think that if we branded ourselves as an NGO or as a charity, that we would be able to get people with that type of
So are you saying,
hunger.
Is it a for-profit organization? So is there some profit in it?
Definitely. We've been profitable since year one. And we would want to continue to be profitable. You know, we see ourselves in so many different ways, and there's like the media part of the organization. Of course, like, there are the events. And I think it really was just to prove to people that, like, you can be good and you can do good and you can make money. They don't need to be these exclusive things. I always find that people have their business and they have their NGO. And it's like, in my business, I'm like, what are the terrible things that you're doing in your business that the two can't come together? I don't understand why there always feels like there's this tension between, like, building a business and, like, helping people and doing good things and making, like, a positive impact on the continent, because, like, ultimately, like, we've done it. It's not that hard. We don't have two heads, you know? Like, it's
Cool stuff. So what I hear you saying is, you know, you can run a for-profit organization and still impact people.
Yeah.
You don't have to be under the umbrella of it's an NGO.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know, you know. Okay, amazing. I've learned that. You know, and I think what you're doing for young women, I must say this, is amazing, and it's just, you know, good, because young women especially, there's nothing like when a woman can define her purpose and, you know, have a plan before she gets into, you know, the job that nature just, you know, once you get married, you start popping out babies. Because I've met people that because they didn't have, like, a job, career, or anything going for them, they get married, start having babies, and then one keeps coming out after the other, and then after a while, they don't even know who they are anymore. They don't know what they want, and they live the rest of their lives, you know, having no sense of purpose.
Yeah.
What I love about what you guys are doing is you're exposing the younger people to good role models. You're telling them that, look, you are here to slay. Before you go and, you know, before you start popping babies or doing any other thing, who are you? You know, run a business, get a career, you know, and I think it's amazing, and I have to say thank you very much. When we return, they will be telling us a whole lot how, you know, Afua, you know, became a beauty queen, and you know, that side of her. Would also be learning a lot about Yasmin when we get back. It's just see you when we return. Welcome back, guys. We're still with Afua and Yasmin, who have been described by Quartz Africa as innovators to watch. They are the founders of Chili's Africa, and we are definitely learning a whole lot from them. Yasmin,
Hello.
in 2016, you started a doctor of law in Harvard,
Yes.
and an MBA in Stanford.
Yes.
Is it only you? Why are you reading all the
I want
books?
to shop all the degrees, everything.
Talk to me about that. Why are you reading so much?
No,
at the same time.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I was thinking about applying to school actually before we started SLA.
Okay.
So I always knew that I was going to go back and do like some type of postgraduate degree. I did think at the time that it would be an MBA only. I started becoming, I think, a little bit more interested in kind of public policy, especially, and kind of thinking about regulation. How do we think about supporting business? And so that's where the law school side of it came in. Now, the decision to split it amongst two schools was probably just because I could. I wanted to spend some time on the West Coast, like it's better weather. I thought that I'd be a better, happier person because everyone there does yoga. I thought I would connect. I'll be there with my kale smoothies. And so I really wanted to spend time at Stanford. But Harvard is just like, in terms of the work that the law school is doing, like around like Africa and like the issues that I'm interested in, it just made sense. So then like I've now ended up in this weird situation where I'm splitting time between the two.
Reading up on you, I could see that, you know, you've had great education, great background, you know, in quote, kind of like the perfect life. Then you got into Mckinsey, great career, you know, everything going, you know, smooth. And then you left all of that to help women. What have you had to sacrifice?
No, I mean, honestly, like, it doesn't feel like a sacrifice. It feels like I really love what I do. I really enjoy what I do. Like, I love the impact that we're able to make. It's fun that, you know, one day I can be thinking about events, then, you know, we're thinking about, you know, TV series, then, you know, we're thinking about a festival, we're thinking about a workshop. I think that sort of versatility I really enjoy. And it didn't really feel like, when I decided to leave McKinsey, it didn't feel like, oh my God, I'm giving this thing up. I was very, very ready to leave. I mean, and on the point of a perfect life, I think perhaps on the outside, but at the end of the day, like, it would be, I think, a little bit silly of me to not assume that I had a tremendous head start, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, my mom has a PhD from Harvard. My dad went to Oxford, Cambridge, and Harvard. Like, my older sister went to Harvard. So it means if I now, it's just like, there are things that, like, there's some basics that, like, I really had. And my parents, like, the fact that they were able to, like, afford a really good education, that completely changes everything. So it's not just me, it's also the fact that I've just had such a good base and a foundation, and that I think is really due to like my parents and my family. So I don't want to like take too much credit for all of those sorts of things.
Yeah, but I love the fact that, you know, that phrase, "Are you happy?" It's something you've left with me, and it's something I'm going to ask a lot of people, because even if you can do only what you're happy doing, at least do it alongside what you're not happy doing. It's important to be happy.
Exactly.
I think it's so important.
Exactly.
Afua, you are Ghanaian.
Yes.
But you lived in Washington. Yeah, you grew up in Washington. You attended LSC and University of Chicago. And then you were doing your MBA and had to intern in Africa.
Yes.
And then a friend told you that if you wanted to impact thousands of people, you could stay back in Washington. But if you wanted to reach millions of people, you could come, you know, live in Africa. And then you carried your bags and came.
Yes, I said,
Was it tough? Like, why didn't you think, I mean, we all know it's night and day, you know, the standard of living, everything. How was that for you? Was it difficult?
I'll be honest, my first time in Lagos was in 2012. It was a different Lagos back then. You know, the dollar wasn't as high. You know, it was my first time having champagne. It was flowing. I was on rooftops. I was like, oh, this place is fantastic. I love it here. So I had a really good time. And it was my first time working with young, smart brown people. Growing up in the U.S., usually you're the only one, right? In the classes, let's say in the technology classes, or in my business school program, let's say out of 600 students, there's only 5 brown women there in the whole program, and maybe 30 brown guys. So you just get used to not being by people who look like you, who understand your issues, who can even tell you where to go to the hair salon. So when I came to Lagos and I was meeting all these smart young people who all were ambitious and they wanted to do something better for their community, they were all coming up with great ideas. It just seemed like a
Felt
really
like
good fit.
home.
Yes.
Afua is an ex-beauty queen.
Yes.
She's going to tell us what her daily beauty ritual is.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Yes, you are.
Okay. A lot of water.
Okay.
I keep it very simple, right? I actually use black soap. right? The same one our mothers have been using for years. And coconut oil and olive oil.
Everybody says coconut oil.
I'm telling you.
On your skin?
Yes, everywhere.
Do you know
have a
I
jug this
used
big.
coconut oil and I broke out?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not for everybody.
Yeah, it's not.
Yes, for me it works.
So guys, test it first. When we return, we'll be hearing what Yasmin's beauty ritual is. She doesn't seem like a fashionista, but she has lovely skin. And I want to know. See you when we return.